Welcome back to my channel at Life with Raina. Today we're going to be talking about some of my favorite self-help books that have been on my nightstand now for the last couple of weeks, and I really love them, and I want to share them with you guys, give a little bit of synopsis on each book and why I like them. And if you guys like them just as much as I do, you can buy them for yourselves and read them as well. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so this book is The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur. A lot of you guys know her because her poems were going like viral on Instagram a couple years, and even Tumblr if you're a Tumblr person. And I really like this book because it's a series of I feel like the poetry is based in like the female experience and what it's like to be a woman in general. It talks a little bit about mother-daughter relationships. I really like this book. Like if you look on the back, the poem that's on the back is, "This is the recipe of life. Said my mother as she held me in her arms as I wept. Think of those flowers you plant in a garden each year and they will teach you that people too must wilt, fall, root, rise in order to bloom." So this is just very inspirational, very full circle poetry. It's a very light, short read, so you could read a couple pages a night just to get a little taste of it. I feel like this book reminds me of drinking a cup of tea. It's hot, you want to take a little bit, put it down. Take a little bit, put it down. And that's really how I get through this book, and that's why I love this book. And it's just very inspirational, and if you're into poetry as much as I am, you'll be able to read in between the lines and really get the point that the author's trying to get across, and it'll mean something to you and it'll warm your heart. So I really like this book, and I believe I got this off of Amazon, but you guys can get it at Amazon and any of your local bookstores, and even the library if you guys are into the library, which we all should be. So that's one. The next one, this is so tattered and torn. I don't know if you guys can tell. I have had this book probably since I was 14 years old, and it is The Strength to Love by Martin Luther King Jr. This really takes you into, I'm gonna call him MLK, it really takes you into MLK's mind. As you guys know, he was a major civil rights leader during the segregation movement and really pushed for the equality of Black Americans in this country. So we all know and love MLK, and this book just really puts you in his mindset. And as you know, he was one of the civil rights leaders that really preached against nonviolence. And it takes a lot, inner growth, a lot of inner standing to when people are being hostile and violent towards you to not respond and react with violence. I think there's a time and a place for both, but this overall is a book that will really teach you how to evolve, because the strength to love is, it's unknown. It can be scary sometimes, and I think in our generation today, a lot of people are afraid to love. So this is not only a book that touches a little bit on his thought process in terms of how he was leading people and what he was telling people to do as a reverend, in terms of just loving like people and loving people like Jesus did, which is what he says in here, but it also teaches you about not being afraid to love. And there's also a foreword by his wife, Coretta Scott King. So amazing book, love it a lot. Another one, can you guys see where I'm going with this? I love love. So this one is A Return to Love by Marian Anderson. She is a Black poet and writer. I love our work. If you went to pre-K between, 2004 to 2006, you definitely said every morning, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure, or somebody said it at your graduation. And this is so true. I really like this book. It really reflects on the principles of A Course in Miracles, which is another book that she had, which really just taught you about how you can savor life and how you can really dive into life and recognize the miracles in our everyday life, that we are breathing, living, we walk on 2 feet, we're healthy. Those are miracles. And there are a lot of people who don't have those same things in their life. And there's a lot of people who have unfortunate lives. So it's really teaching you about being grateful to what you have. But A Return to Love, it's a really good relationship self-help book. It teaches you about how to break down some of those walls and fears you have surrounding love and how you can love your neighbors. So this is another book that I really love. This one. This is a heavy hitter. The Body Keeps Score. If you've gone through just about anything in life ever, which we all have, or if you've gone through any sort of traumatic event, your body has literally been creating neurons in your brain to protect yourself from the trauma of these events. So some of these events you might not remember. If you hear a loud noise, you might shudder. This is your body keeping score. If you go through a traumatic event, your body is building up things in your brain to protect you from being sad, from being non functioning, from being depressed. It is literally protecting you, which I think is so awesome to think about, that we house this soul and our body is protecting that soul, and our brains are working hard to make sure that we're the happiest, healthiest versions of ourselves. And this book really helps us to recognize ways that trauma has impacted our bodies and ways that we can kind of unwork those malignant things. So this is a cult classic, The Body Keeps Score. I love it. I've read it twice just in case I forget what it's about, and I really recommend this to all of my fans. So be sure to get this one. If you don't get any book out of this, get The Body Keeps Score. Okay, I love this one. This is technically a coffee table book. This is by Ram Dass. A lot of you guys know him. He's like a spiritual guru, and he says a lot of, I guess, very impactful and influential things. But let's just flip through the book a little bit so you guys can see. This is so cool. Like the way that it looks. This page says you don't have to argue that urge, that desire, that unfulfilled thing. Just let it be. Just be more. What's holding you back? Your thoughts? You've got to give them up. So it's not in the typical standard or format of a regular book. It really is a coffee table book, and it looks like a whole series of posters in here. But this stuff is so impactful. I feel like every time I open it, it happens to be on the page with something and a message that I actually need. So I really like this one, and I really like Ram Dass. So yeah, this has been Raina at Life with Raina. Thank you guys for tuning in to hear about some of my favorite self-help books. I hope that you guys find a book that resonates with you and you purchase it for the new year and apply it to your arsenal and use it to grow and to expand. It has been a pleasure to share some of my favorite reads with you guys. Until next time, I'll see you later.